Welcome to this behind the board on mixing guitars with EQ and some panning. So here are all the guitar tracks we will be working with. I muted out all the drums because I want to work in groups and individually want to work with each one of these guitar tracks, making them sound as great as possible before I start thinking about how they fit. And so on. So let's make them sound fantastic, and then when we get to the mix, we'll make adjustments as we add them in. But right now, let's just focus in on these guys. So let's start out with the bass guitar right up here. We'll solo him out, and we will put on an insert, our plug-in insert, EQ3 7-band. We'll start EQing this fella. So I'm going to roll off a tiny bit of the low end by using my high-pass filter. I'm doing the 12 dB, and I'm just going to roll off maybe around 100. I just don't want the bassiest bass part in there because I want to let the kick drum take over a little bit. So I am getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I like to make these cuts to begin with because I know I'm going to make them. So here's the cut I'm making for that. I'm rolling it off right around 100. Now let's start doing our peak sweeps and see if we have any sort of situations going on that we want to get out of the bass track. It's getting a little boomy over there. It's not major. I'm just going to take it down a tiny bit, and we'll find some other spots as well. Bass is sounding really good, fresh right now, though. Good here, right there. We're getting a bit of boominess from that second note, so we'll take that down a little bit more than the other one. Taking that down -5 there. And we'll do another sweep. I'm getting a little ring right around 280 hertz. I'm going to take that down a little as well. And we'll just take a look at all of the high range, see if there's anything going on there. I don't really think there'll be much bass stuff going on up here. So it looks like we have some pick noise going on, some impact noise. I'm going to open up another EQ7 because we're running out of bands here. So here we are with another EQ7. I'm just going to do the mid-range a little bit here with this guy. That's our spot. Take him out a bit. And that should do it for our bass EQ. Terrific. All right, so our bass EQ is done. Let's move on to our guitar left. And remember, when we do these EQs, let's put it right to the middle so we can listen with both ears. So pan to the middle, and we'll listen to guitar left now with an EQ7 going. So guitar left is our heavy guitar part. I'm going to just fast forward to the chorus area. You could do that by going right around 52 seconds or so, bar 29 or 30, and work right out of there. Now guitars, I'm using that high pass filter again. I'm taking out all the low end stuff. I'm going to probably go to like 160, 170. Anywhere between 150 and 200 is kind of where I like to sit with the guitar high pass filter. So let's put that on and then get to work. Here we go. A little boominess down there. We'll take that out. With guitars, it's a little more present than it is on bass and drums. You really start to hear those frequencies bang out at you, so it gets a little bit easier actually. Here's our second one, and let's look for any more. Quite a few on this guitar part. We might be using 2 EQ7s on this one as well. Let's just use this last band over here. There's something there. It's a little wider than my band though, so let's make this a little wider on the cue. There she is. That's an annoying sound. Let's get that out a little bit. Good. We took a lot out. If you press bypass, you start listening back to what you had at the beginning. You'll see how out of control it is, how many frequencies are really in there, and the ones that we don't want to hear are there. It's crazy how different it sounds once you get everything out. So much more controlled, but we still have something going on in the high mid-range. Let me open up another EQ7. We're using a lot for this guitar, but that's okay. We have plenty of EQ7s. They're free. So here we go. Yeah, we found it already. There was something going on that high mid-range. It looks like right around there, but I'm going to sweep around anyway. So your before and after will be fairly drastic when you do these guitar parts. So much more under control. I'll save you some time right here and tell you that we use the same guitar and the same amp for both of these guitar parts. So just paste that right on down and get your pan back. You want your guitar pan to left, your guitar pan right. Now with guitars, right now I just hard panned them. What I want to do is bring them in a little bit. I don't like them to be dedicated to speakers. I like them to be towards a speaker. So I'm going to put them about 81 each way. There we go. You could do that. Anywhere between 70 and 86 is usually sounding good for me, but work with it. Figure out what you like. A lot of the major label people like to put it a little closer. They also have a lot more gear to work with to make it stand out. So to make the mix exciting, I like things to pop from speaker to speaker a lot. That's what really catches my ear. So it's a personal thing, what you're looking for. Some people might want to put these guitars panned at like 30. That's fine. Try it out. See what's going to work for you. But for now, I'm going to pan them pretty hard at 80 each. Now we're going to the chorus lead guitar. This should be a higher end guitar right here. Let's take a look, get all the annoying stuff out, and we'll worry about doing an actual EQ to it later if we want to add some high or something like that. All right, high pass filter on, 12 dB. Let's put that frequency right around 160. And yeah, anywhere between 150 and 200 I'd be pretty happy with. Here I am at 167. And let's get working on it. Right there, no good. Take that out. Wow, really rough right there too. So that frequency was hanging out there. It was hiding there, and you hardly heard it when you're just listening back to the regular guitar part, but it's in there, and it will eventually eat at you as you're mixing everything. So let's get it out. See how much more in control we are of this guitar now that we're taking out these bad frequencies. Let's do a couple more, see if we have anything else to take out. Right there could come down a little bit too. It's right next to your other fella, but It is annoying as well. Sometimes they're pretty close together, and sometimes you could fix that just by going to the Q, making it a little wider, taking them both out. But hey, we have an extra band here. There was nothing on the high end we want to take out, so we'll just take that frequency out individually. And see how far we came now. I'll flip back with that bypass. You'll take a look. Very, very controlled sound now. Not a lot of weird frequencies coming from everywhere. So here we go to the clean guitar. On that last one, I'm feeling like it's pretty high-endy now. I guess when we actually make our mix, and if we feel like it's too much low-end, we'll do a high shelf on it or something, bring it up a little bit. I'm not too worried about it right now. So we'll go to our clean guitar. We'll EQ 3/7 band. We'll do our cut like we have been doing. We're going to do this to all the guitars. Do a cut right around that 160 area. And let's do our sweeps on clean guitar. Here we go. Right there, we're getting a lot of ring from right there. Let's take that out a bit. All right, next sweep. Here we go. We see there's a bad frequency too. Let's take that fella out. Next sweep. Here we go. Right there is, it's kind of popping out at me a little bit. I'm just going to take that down a tiny bit because it's not really popping out at me. Very happy with how this guitar sounds. Really good tone to begin with, and we took out the bad stuff. Let's just check the high end, make sure there's nothing there. All right, every time a high note is hit, this is really kind of ringing at us like a bell. Let's take that down just a tiny bit there too, and I'll be happy with this guitar. We just got it a little more under control. Remember, when you're recording, you're getting tones you like, so hopefully you don't have to EQ them like crazy, but you will have to EQ them a bit. Let's go to this bridge guitar. We'll solo it out. We'll throw an EQ on it. Do that same story we've been saying. We're going to go ahead and use the high pass filter, take a little bit out there. Great. Let's get started. Okay, before that, let's pan this to the middle. We'll pan the rest of the middle too. I want to hear it without any pan on it through both of my ears so I could really make sound judgments on it. It's a little boomy right there. I'll take that out. Next sweep, here we go. All right, next sweep. All right, one more just to check the high end, but really sounding great. We're good. We're very good at that high end, so I'm just going to leave that. Let's move on to our second bridge guitar, see what we're working with here. Go to plugin, EQ 7 band, and get started with your high pass filter. 12 dB and around 160. Let's take a listen and let's mess with it. Right there, that's rough. Let's get that out of there. Next band. All right, that's all I found there. We took those two guys out. We sound good, so that's that. Let's move on to our harmonics. Harmonics are real cool sounding. We want to make sure they sound really great because we use some natural harmonics in this song. They come right from the guitar, throw them through an amp, and you get a lot of it's really an interesting tone. We'll start working with it. You'll see where I'm coming from here. It's something I like a lot. Okay, so same type of thing on the high pass filter, obviously, but here we go with our sweeps. All right, let's take that down a little bit. This one. And let's work with our next band, see what else we got. Let's take that down a little bit. That gets real loud at us. All right, we're more in control now. Let's do one more sweep on this high end, see if there's anything left. Right around there, we can take that fella down too. We'll do one more all the way at the top, see if there's anything going on. Doesn't seem to be anything drastic towards the top, so we're good there. One more guitar part is going to be the verse lead. Let's work with that. You can go back to the beginning of the song. And let's throw on our plug-in EQ7 band, work with our high pass filter the same way we've been doing, and find our issues here. Let's solo out. Right there, we got something. We'll take that down a bit. There's another spot we want to take out a bit. Try one more sweep. All right, we look good, but of course you could keep EQing, find out if there's anything else going on that you want to take away. But let's move forward now to our pans. So we want to balance everything. So you want to kind of see what's going on everywhere. I'm going to make this all a little smaller just by pressing my Alt Option and dragging this up. So now we can see everything going on in the guitars. Okay, so we have these two guitars panned here at 81, and that's kind of going to be where we want to be on everything. We want 81s in the verses. Everywhere that we have two guitars, I'm going to go with 81. Another technique would be in the verses, bring them tighter together so that when you hit heavier parts and choruses, the mix spreads a little more. Figure out which one you like by trying both of them. But right now, let's just try to do everything very similarly. During the chorus, we have this chorus lead. I want to just pan this a little off center. I'm going to pan it five to the right. The reason I pan it off center is there's a lot of stuff coming right up the middle already. Bass drum, snare drum, vocals are going to be up there, bass is right there. So I just off center it a little bit so it could kind of stand out, go to one of your ears a little more than the other, not a lot, just 5 to that area. Next we got clean guitar. This is the regular verse part that we have going on, and I'm going to pan that to the left. You could choose to do this to the right as well, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that we pan it at 81% in one or the other directions. Now, its counterpart is down here in verse lead. Let's pan him the other way at 81%. Great. Okay, now we have all the bridge stuff. Let's pan that up nice too. We're going to have to listen to all of it, see where it should go in our heads. So here's a chord progression. I'm going to use that as my main part, and I've been putting most of my main parts to the left, so we'll go left at 81. And we have 3 here, so it will be a little more tricky. It won't go to 81 for me. There it goes. Let's hear what the second one is. Okay, that's a repetitive section. Let's hear the third one. I'm going to pan that third one to the right. And I'm just going to go a little bit off center with that middle one. And I'm going to go off center in the other direction about 11. So I'm going to the left 11 with that middle one because that's what I'd like to hear there. So we'll have your bridge guitar all the way to the left, your harmonics mostly to the right. We're talking 81 when I say all the way. It's panned pretty hard. And the bridge guitar 2, which is that repetitive function, pan to the left 11. Great. And when we finish up with our dynamics and our bussing, we'll get good levels on this so it sounds good together. But that's what we're looking for when we pan guitars. We want balance. So if you pan something to the left and there's something else there, don't also pan it to the left. You're going to mess up your balance. You want to present a smooth listening experience to the people listening to your mix. All right, thanks for being with me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one.